Hello everyone and welcome back to the next episode of our playthrough of Sekiro. Last time we found a bell and offered it to the Buddha statue in the temple, and now we've ended up here in a very strange place. And this time we'll try and find out what exactly we're doing here. I mean, it says the Hirata Estate, but it doesn't really explain how we got here. Get some more ash.
Hirata Estate に巫女様を急ぐのじゃ。
今幾年だ。
何をおかしな。
教えてくれ。
流泉モーデの年であろ
う。流泉モーデ。3年前か。どういうことだ。武士殿は古い記憶と言った。何も覚えてはおらぬが、これは過去ということか。
So we've been transported to a memory of the past, though as far as Wolf says, he can't remember it. Back here there's an item for us. Dowsing powder, which heals the burn status, which is going to be appearing fairly soon, as you could probably infer from the buildings on fire. The burn status is pretty similar to the poison status, except it reduces your health and doesn't let you recover posture as quickly. So the guy with the torch can raise the alarm and can also deal. That orange bar filling up is that burn status, so you want to avoid that, because even if we block or deflect his hit, it's possible that we will still get burn build up. So we've got some more dogs like we did before. You can take them down in one, or you can use your shuriken, which will also do them in one. Dogs really aren't too big of a deal as long as you know that. And now it's just him. Don't know who he's trying to pull over. There's no one else left. And there we go. Now if we head over here, down these stairs, there's another dog down here for one thing, as well as another guy. So we'll take care of those two. As you can see, something spotted us in the water. Oh, and we just acquired some oil. It's a usable item that you just throw at people, and when they're covered in it, they become more flammable, which sounds as though it's going to be useful in an area such as this. So we want to be careful. We'd like to avoid getting detected by the things in the water for now. And here we have a Mibu possession balloon. This is much like the money one that we found before, but this time it's enemies that will have a higher chance of dropping items as opposed to dropping more money. As you can see, there's an item over there, as well as a guy in a pot. Well, this is a guy in a pot called Haranaga. He says we can buy things with scales, but we don't have any as it stands. He's got some divine grass, a red gourd that cures burn build-up like the dowsing powder, but it will refill at sculptor's idols like our other flask. The mask fragment, which doesn't seem to do anything by itself, and the floating passage text, which unlocks a new combat art for us, like the one we saw on the skill tree. Okay, we want to get away from that detection range. can actually get a scale or two here from that bright red fish over there. There's a bunch of normal fish, but that's the only one that will give us the important scales. There we have it. I do believe that's the only one around here, though. We're gonna have a quick look. We just tap B in order to go faster, as I mentioned in the first episode. And that's it. I only have one, and I don't really want the Divine Grass. It's a one-time use consumable item, so I'd rather save them up for more permanent things. So, back to the main path, to the estate. That was just sort of a side thing. And here we have another statue for us. Very helpful. And we are up to level 2 now, which means we have another skill point, which means I can buy this, which is the Makiri counter. Those thrusting attacks that up until now we've only been able to counter with a deflect, we can now dash towards them and stomp on top of the weapon that they are, well, thrusting at us. And this is going to be extremely useful going forward. It's one of the most important parts of combat in this, and countering thrusting attacks is a pretty big part of the whole thing, so highly recommend getting that. Oh, and we should rest as well, just to heal ourselves up. And here, we could do everything as normal, and just run up the path, but there's quite a lot of enemies, so we might not want to deal with that. So instead, we're going to sneak around this side. I mean, you could just jump past them probably, but we're still going to go after them because, well, money and experience points basically. And there was a guy hanging out just here. If you go for him first, no one will spot you immediately, which is very nice. You can only really get 2 of them from stealth before the rest notice you, but 2 is better than none. And that's only if you go for that guy first. So we will jump on top of this wall here. And we'll go after this guy next. There we go. Bow users, much like gun wielders that we've seen in the past, are pretty incapable once you get up and close with them. As long as it's just them. So that's always good to bear in mind. These guys didn't seem to notice what was going on, so let's see if we can get the drop on them as well. And it seems like no matter what we do, we're going to be spotted by someone, so let's just go for this guy. Axe users I always have trouble with. We want to go for this guy first, just to stop him shooting at us while we're taking on the other guy. They attack very slowly, and will sometimes power through your attacks when you go for them, so it's best to be wary of that and not think that you'll interrupt them just by attacking, if they're mid-attack. There's also a guy hiding up here. Typically he won't really bother you if you don't come back here, but we did because they were pellets. So, unlucky for him, basically. And like that, we've cleared out that front part, but there is some stuff back here. There's an item for us, and there's some more enemies. And there's something very important, the flame barrel. This is another prosthetic tool for us. It's, well, we'll see when we get back to the sculptor, but it's going to prove to be very useful, as it mentions the red eyes there. And as we remember from last time, that ogre with the red eyes is quite vulnerable to fire attacks, so this should be pretty useful. Anyone who is caught sitting down is still considered unaware for the purposes of stealth kills. If we run off and make them lose track of us, the axe users powering through our attacks and not getting interrupted by them. Now if we take out this guy, and then we can jump over here. Oh, I said to jump over here, take out the bow user, and just like that we've thinned out the herd. Still quite a few of them. It's entirely possible to just run from this after grabbing the flame barrel. It's realistically unnecessary to do all of this, but I like to. As I mentioned before, fighting this many enemies at once is quite unwise. I got a little bit stuck on a tree there, but that is okay. However, we are out of healing cords, which is slightly less okay. Dowsing powder, good to have. Balloon of wealth. We should probably take out the dog, actually. Ow. Chance to show from the Kiri counter, but the other guy interrupted us. Okay. That's alright, that happens. If we're on the offensive, we can manage this a lot better. Right, I believe there's one guy left. Or maybe there's none. There's a guy up there. This could be a good chance to use one of our wealth balloons, because it only takes effect when you pick up the money, and there's quite a lot of it just lying around for us. So there we go, nice 145 for what would probably be, well, a lot less than that. Still, that was quite dicey. So it would be nice to get a break somewhere. Telling us about an axe that we can grab up ahead, which does sound quite useful. Although my favoritism may show a little bit, because I'm a big fan of axes. Here we have a Gokhan sugar. Unlike Ungo sugar that reduces vitality damage for a duration, this reduces the posture damage we take for a little bit, which is decent. I'm not a huge fan. It's not one that I would use frequently, to be honest. Oh, something else that you may have noticed earlier when fighting the axe guy. If you manage to properly deflect their attacks, typically it will leave them very vulnerable in a state of being knocked off balance even with just one attack. Even if they're not death blow ready, they're still vulnerable. Here's a chicken. Oh, there's more chickens. They are apparently stronger than dogs. At least a little bit, as far as shurikens go. Another Ungo sugar for us. Well, another 3 actually. And as you can see, one of our resurrective nodes is crossed out at the moment because, well, we use the other one, and we have to essentially take out enough enemies to be able to use the other one. If this happens in boss fights, all you need to do is take out one of their death blows in response. But when it comes to regular enemies, it can be a little bit more finicky. I think we're going to run back to the rest stop because things got quite messy in that side bit, and I don't really want to continue on ahead like this. So we're not going to. We're going to run back and get our healing back. I would go back to the sculptor, but we're about to get another shinobi tool, so it would be better to just do it with both of them. We can quickly take care of this guy. And this guy. This guy can't shoot arrows through a wall, but sometimes he repositions, so it's best to be wary. Now then, we're back to where we were, because we opened up this shortcut, otherwise known as a door. And we've got another eavesdropping opportunity. So they are yelling at someone to open up, so we are going to open them up. Oh, hang on. There's a guy back here as well.
Yo, Danna. Anta mo kajiba dorobo desu kai? Danna wa mita toko shinobi desu ka ne? Nanika sagashimono demo? Ma, nan ni seyo. Koko wa ashi ga saki ni mitsuketa basho de sa. Yoso o asatte kudasai. ああ、そういえばどっかの崖上に三重の塔が見えやしたぜ。あんだけご立派な塔だ。きっと中にはお宝がしまわれてるに違いねえ。あっしならそう思いやすね。
What he's telling us about there is going to help us in a little bit, but currently we're just going to carry on and let him do his thing. We can see through the bamboo that there's an item back there, but we can't really get to it from here. So we'll just carry on. Oh wait, no, we can. This is how we get to it. My mistake. I thought it was a different one. We have a Jizo statue. If you use it, you can restore a node of resurrective power, which will also take away the black bar that's there at the time. So if I'd used my first resurrection, I could use that and get it back. They're quite rare, so if you want to use one, be absolutely sure that you're going to take full advantage of it. Yeah. This guy is not the most aware in the world, but he did notice in the end. I really should listen to my own advice about not thinking I can just stop them by hitting them. Oh well, job done. Now then, what's down here? Another eavesdrop. A Shinobi Hunter does sound dangerous for us, but I think we're well equipped.
誰ですか？
族ではない。
あなたは若様の。あ、よかった。忍び殿、族どもの目的は若様です。あやつらはすでに竹林坂上にいたり、お屋敷に火をかけています。若様の脱出も叶わなかったご様子。お願いです。忍び殿、若様をお救いください。これをあなたに託します。
She gives us some more antidote powder, just in case we run into any more poison.
お役立てを。
承知。
And we'll have a look at what else is around here. There's some people we can talk to through these windows.
お主、若様の忍びじゃな。肝心な時におらんとんだ役立たずね。いや、もしやお主賊を手引いたのではあるまいな。さもなくばこの平田屋敷がこうもあっけなく落ちようものか。そうよ、そうみ 違いないが、いねえ。裏切り者はいねえ。
Well, we just got here from the future, so I think that's a little unreasonable. Okay, and over here is that temple that the guy was talking about, where we can find that axe he mentioned. One more eavesdrop, just for fun.
兄貴、次はこのお堂ですか。いや、そこはいい。次に行くぞ。今度、古代物でもあれば、地蔵様に。ダメんか。仏様にはただし無用。なんでいやわかるんだ、タコが。怒らないでおくれよ、兄貴。タコでごめんよ。
Okay, well, whether or not they're gonna burn it, time to die, guys. Because I know what's in there. There's one other guy here. In your own time. Oh no, just walk down. Okay. Someone down there seems to have heard us, but they aren't realised to be coming up here. Some more coins. I think that's all that's in here. So what we want is over here, behind these doors. And here we have the Shinobi Axe. The boorish axe is used less for cutting and more for breaking with its weight. Once the favorite weapon of a shinobi known as the Bounding Monkey of the Sunken Valley, it was lost along with his left arm. And so next time we find an idol, we can take those to the sculptor and have him... No, actually we should do that now. I forgot. We are thrown directly up against some enemies for which the axe is ideal. So we're going to go back to the idol, and then head to the temple. And then... Actually, this would be a good time to show that using the homeward idol, we can go straight to the temple, which is quite convenient sometimes. Because otherwise you have to run back to an idol, or we'd have to walk back to an idol, and then go from there to the temple. And we're going to be going to the temple a lot, so it's easier to just do that. So... Ah yes, that just means another training session with Hanbei is unlocked where he'll do thrust attacks, but we've got a much better learning opportunity for that coming up, but by all means use that, it's quite a useful thing to do. Okay, I don't think she has anything new for us. Always worth checking. Sculptor.
夢かうつつか、わしにも定かなことはわからん。一つ言えるのは、仏様はお前さんの古い記憶を起こしてくださっているだけじゃ。お前さんがどう思い、どう覚えていたか、すべてはそれ次第じゃ。
見るものすべてが正しく起こったことかはわからん。
そういうことじゃ。
Okay. I've got some new stuff for you to slap on. The loaded axe. And the flame vent. Axe is advising us to use it against shields, or just to absolutely destroy someone's posture, because getting hit with that is going to hurt. And the flame vent is, as we discussed before, very useful against those with red eyes, as well as inflicting burn status.
その忍び義手、随分と腕に馴染んできたようじゃな。お前さん、これを取っておきな。
He's given us another set of skills that we can learn, the Prosthetic Esoteric Text. This is also going to be quite useful in a number of spots. Written by a man who abandoned the path of the shinobi but could not bring himself to discard his painstaking research. He never expected to pass these on to anyone else.
お前さんの牙でどう噛み殺すか、それが書いてある。要は忍び義手を使った戦いの術じゃな。
わかった。
まった
種の忍び技などもはや無用と思っておったがわからんものよな。
Okay,
ではな、また。
so we can equip. Oh, we never even equip the firecrackers. Going forward, we're going to want the loaded axe, and the firecrackers are useful in almost every situation. There's very few enemies these don't affect, and so I'm rarely going to bring up that they're effective, that they're useful for a boss. Take it as granted that they are so, unless I specify otherwise, or that I emphasize it, because they're always good, basically. And yes, so we're going to carry on in the Hirata Estate for now. We could go back and fight that ogre with our newfound flame vent, but we're going to carry on here for now. And I should have gone to the other idol, but it's fine. We'll just go there now. Nope. That's the translation mod. It deletes some texts. That's okay. I'm not going to bother fighting these guys this time. Oh, we can actually have a look at those prosthetic skills that we just acquired. Since we have, you know, we're close to 2 levels. Let's just get 2, and then we can have a look. Yeah, like that. There's literally one guy. Okay. Let's rest again. And have a look at these skills. So, currently we have Chasing Slice, which allows us to dash forward with, well, a slice after using the shuriken, the firecracker, or some other unknown tool. Since we're going to be getting more, it doesn't tell us all of them. It's quite useful, because it doesn't cost anything to use, and it's an extra attack, and it closes distance very well. This is probably going to be more immediately useful to us if you grapple on to an enemy. Then you can use this to attack in midair with a spinning attack that can do quite decent damage, and is also just useful for a boss fairly soon. Not too soon, but advised to have it for now. And now we have this combat art available, and increasing the potency of our healing gourd, which is quite nice. Interesting that Emma's stuff is showing up in here, but yes, it does cost 4 skill points, so not our next target. Knowing the technique doesn't make the medicine taste any better. And we'll also get Chasing Slice, I think. It's quite useful. I like this tree of making your prosthetic tools more useful. Next up is Mid-Air Prosthetic Tool, which is what it sounds like. You can use them in mid-air. And Fang and Blade, which is allows you to, typically for more weapon-based tools, it allows you to use both them and your sword at the same time. So, for example, our axe could be usable with it. So yeah, now it's telling us about that, but it's I already explained it. So now we're just going to sneak by them. We don't need to deal with them a 3rd time. I just wanted to do it last time because we had experience missing. Okay, there's an item over here that I missed both other times. Oops. It's another Ungo Sugar. We're getting a lot of those, but I suppose they want to make sure that you have some, at least, way to negate some damage, because you don't start off with many tasks. Okay, and we will carry on from here. We also don't really want to deal with those guys, so we're not going to. The nice thing is that you can change your tools at any point. It doesn't matter where you are or when you are. You can do it whenever you like, and that's, I don't know, I think that's useful, as opposed to most FromSoft games that don't let you just pause in the middle of a fight. There goes start on the time. And if you remember, the axe mentions shields by name, so let's see how that goes. Down in 1, breaks it completely, and then also completely shatters their posture, so let's do it again. Really quite effective. Now we're coming up to this bunch of flowers, seemingly, with this guy standing in the middle. I think we want to take this sneakily, although maybe we can just go after this guy first and have him not signal to anyone else. Okay, one guy seems to have spotted us. This guy with the bow. Ow. Here we are. It's telling us about thrust attacks, since this Shinobi hunter that we heard about is using a spear, which is pretty bad for us. because you can't deflect thrust attacks, and spears are basically all thrust attacks. But we got that Mikiri counter technique, so that's going to be quite useful here. And if you remember, that red icon means no deflecting. And look at how much posture damage that did. So the technique is really as simple as just running at them, or dashing at them specifically, when they do a thrust attack. I'm jumping around too much and that's costing me. They also sometimes do sweeping attacks, so best to be wary of those as well. Okay, wait for them to clear off a little. Got a bit overwhelmed with the numbers. That's okay, it happens. Okay, they didn't clear off even in the slightest. That's okay as well. Typically you want to dash forward right as the icon appears. Okay, maybe we just leave, actually. This is not going well. I'm not a fan of this. Yeah, no, go away. I'm gone. You cannot see me. We're gonna have one of these pellets. Can we not hold more than one? Oh, sorry, they're all in storage. Didn't realise. Okay, we'll see if we can get rid of the other two, because I think we can take the hunter quite easily by himself, but the other two are causing the problems. Yeah, you turn around as well, please. There's no shame in doing this whatsoever. When there's too many guys, back off and leave. Because you don't want to lose your money or your skill points or anything. Ow. With these guys, if I'm in danger, I like to back off and just use thrust attacks. Because they have no idea what to do. And it works. We're going to take everyone's stuff. And we're going to fight this guy again. We'll get the firecrackers just in case. Because, like I said, they're always useful. He hasn't noticed us somehow. So we're going to stealth attack. Another advantage to running away and then coming back. And like I said, if you do a death blow to a boss, you get that resurrection back. Or at least you get access to it. Now he's backing off to do his big charge up attack. He'll stomp on again. Not to mention, the sound is just extremely satisfying when you do that. And that gives us another prayer bead. He's not an easy boss because he's placed in a difficult position, so don't feel bad if you have trouble with him, because, yeah, he's hard, basically. I was there for hours when I first got here. Or at least, like, an hour. And here we have another sculptor's idol, which is quite needed after all of that. Now then, here, there's another spirit emblem up ahead. But we're going to not go there because going sneakily around the main path is always better, as we know. And we're going to jump down into the river. Now, there are two reasons for doing this. Three reasons, really. One, there is another one of those carps down here with those shiny scales that we can get, I believe. Unless I'm wrong. Nope, there is one. If you catch them by surprise, they can't really get away from you. Two, there is a thing along here, a little secret, if you would. Oh, yes, sorry, that's contact medicine. It essentially gives you a weaker version of poison, so that you can't get poisoned by more poison, worse poison. If we go along this way, if you remember that guy that we eavesdropped upon talking about a pagoda, oh wait, no, not eavesdropped on, we talked to that guy, who seemed to be looting the place. We talked about a 3-story pagoda with a treasure in it. Well, that is what we're going to get if I can make it up this wall. Yeah, this is the mechanic of just wall jumping from wall to wall to wall. And there we go, we made it to the top, it's not that hard. Now, this is quite a difficult fight if at the start of the game, because your stats are low, and it's a complicated enemy, and you're not really supposed to fight him right now, but I'm gonna, because I believe in myself, basically, and I fought these guys quite a lot of times. But I wouldn't recommend it if you're a beginner. As you can see, he does quite a lot of damage. But we managed to get him. He's given us some scrap iron, which is a tool for prosthetic weapon upgrades. And quite a lot of experience as well. It's almost another half bar on top of the level up. Some dowsing powder, and whatever it is that's in here. The Mist Raven's Feathers. This is yet another prosthetic tool. We're getting a lot here. And this is quite a useful one. Again, like the firecrackers, it can be utilized to great effect in almost any boss fight, and as a result, again, I'm not really going to mention it specifically, unless it has particular use, so I think it's more useful than usual in that fight. But otherwise, ow. I don't know how you're supposed to get down there without taking full damage, but maybe you can jump in the water, actually. But yes, I will occasionally be using it, although I'll try to avoid it when I can, because again, not everyone will have it, because not everyone can take on that guy. It's totally fine to come back later, which you can do at any point. But now we're just going to head back to the main road. Guy with an axe. Take him out. Very sneaky around here, because all the way up those path, up that path, sorry, there are a bunch of guys looking to go on us. As you can see, they've got a whole firing squad up here. No, you get back here. And then we're gonna run back and deal with the rest of them. Ow! 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 There's this guy over here who has no idea that we're coming for him. Well, now he does. But that is a little too late. I don't know what that guy's aiming at, to be honest. I was nowhere near there. Oh, goodness me. That's another thing about getting death blows. Do them whenever you can, because they do give you invincibility. Now we're going to run off for a little bit, because one, there is an item up here, and two, there are some very angry people up there. So we're going to hopefully have them lose focus, and then we're going to go after them. We saw that some of them had shields, so we're busting out the axe. As well as that big guy, who can be quite dangerous if you're not careful with them. Those guys seem to be keeping their eyes ahead of them, which is not really what you want, but somehow he hasn't. No, they have noticed us. Okay. Well, let's take them out quickly then. Didn't even destroy his shield, it's still enough to just demolish his posture bar. Axes are powerful. As anyone who knows me, that's why I like to make that point. Ow. Okay, did not time the deflect right on him, but he's still knocked down. Honestly, the axe would probably work pretty well against him if he gives you the chance. Like so. Oh dear. Okay. Well, that wasn't what I meant to do. At all, really. Now we're back down in the river again. Can't really make our way back up there easily without going around the whole path again, but that's fine. Bit annoying because it means all their posture will regain. But so will mine, to be fair. Something that the game doesn't, I think, tell you outright is that if you stand still and hold block, your posture will regain a lot faster, as well as it regaining slower when you're low on health. But that goes the same for enemies as well, so he's not even fully restored, despite us having to go all the way around and pick it up here again. Then again, I think these guys just restore it quite slowly. So down he goes, and we use the axe, as we know, and just like that, they're taken care of. Now we're coming up to seemingly one of the main birding buildings. Let's see what's here.
父上、お前か。不覚を取った。このわしを置いたものだ。手当てはよい。この地図ではもはや助からぬ。それより狼よ、これを。
Giving us a key.
これはお屋敷の隠し仏殿の鍵よ。巫女様はそこに。だがこの火の手じゃ正面からは入れん。崖外からならば。そうじゃ。あちらから外へ出て崖沿いに進み、霊園から回り込め。さすれば抜け道が。わかりました。狼よ、忍びの掟は忘れておらぬな。はい。主は絶対狼よ、命をとしてお守りするのじゃ。父上。
Fire roars into life behind us, cutting off the way we came in, and our father dead in front of us in this memory that we've long forgotten.
左手に霊園から回り込むを任せた。
And he's entrusted us with the fate of our master. After acquiring quite a few new prosthetic tools and taking on another mini-boss, I think we're going to end this episode here, and next time we will continue further into this memory and see what we can find about what's going on. See you guys then.